This is a product video for Avery Dennison's MPI 1902 Easy Apply RS. The only difference between MPI 1902 and MPI 1105 is the adhesive layer. The print quality will be exactly the same, yet the installed protocols are very different. So if you're used to using MPI 1105, particularly for vehicle wraps, please pay close attention. Product details are product number 1902, film type, cast with gloss finish, liner 90 pounds, roll widths 54 and 60 inch, roll lengths 25 and 50 yards, thickness 2 mil, adhesive removable acrylic, lot number on the box and in the core tube, and here are the multiple uses. On the liner, the Avery Dennison logo and URL can be found, and the symmetry can be used to cut the panels evenly during production. Removing the liner reveals a black adhesive which has the Easy Apply and RS features. This adhesive is also what makes it different than 1105. Its final adhesion is half of that of 1105. This means that it removes easily and is safer for paint that is not OEM. Applying a firm squeegee stroke adheres the film to the substrate. This is called pressure activated and comes from the RS feature. Keep in mind that MPI 1902 can be picked back up and still retains the slidability feature even though the RS technology is now in the adhesive. Applying another firm squeegee stroke adheres the film once again to the substrate. If there are vertical overlaps, they should be 3/4 of an inch wide. For inlays and overlays commonly found on mirrors and bumpers, overlaps of 1/8 of an inch are sufficient. It's very important to avoid overstretching MPI 1902 for several reasons. It distorts the image, which lowers quality, and it puts extra pressure on this specific adhesive that may cause it to lift prematurely. If the film does get overstretched, lift the panel up, apply heat while holding it loosely to trigger the memory effect. This will allow the MPI 1902 to shrink back to its original shape and tension, then it can be reapplied. And here are the production details. You can go to this URL for free profiles, inks, solvent, eco-solvent, UV, and latex. Outgas time for solvents 24 hours. Lamination can use any of the 1000 DOL series or 6460. 1360 is preferred for vehicles. It is not directional. And here's the warranty: 2 years vertical, 0 years horizontal. Printing on MPI 1902, standard print protocols can be used. Solvent, eco-solvent, UV, and latex inks can be used. Profiles can be downloaded for free on the Avery Dennison website, and be sure to outgas solvent-based inks for 24 hours in order to get optimal results. For install, workspace temperature 60 to 75 degrees Fahrenheit, standard cleaning methods, paint, OEM, good condition, conformability, flat to moderate curves. Here are the tools needed to achieve a professional result, and the surface energy depends on the type of DOL used. When prepping the substrate for an install with MPI 1902, first clean with a gentle cleaner. This removes the dirt layer. Put extra focus on the edges as these are critical for long-term durability. After a general clean, wipe the edges and main surface down with 70% isopropyl alcohol. This degreases the surface, which helps create maximum hold. For difficult to reach areas, put a squeegee in a towel and thoroughly clean and degrease. With the substrate ready and the panel in place, always trim the panel down to shape of the section being applied, allowing for 3-inch bleed by using a Snitty to cut. Using Avery Dennison magnets, secure the panel with a temporary hinge. Remove the liner from one half, flip the film back over, then, with a squeegee stroke, secure the panel in place. This is called a permanent hinge. Using firm, overlapping squeegee strokes, apply the flat areas first. Because the adhesive is less aggressive than MPI 1105, using relief cuts on moderate curves will help avoid tension on the edges. Once to the edge, use heat to relax any more tension. This is key for long-term hold. For larger curves, apply heat and gently pull the film to the edge. Using heat to relax MPI 1902 around these areas is critical, as pulling too hard at room temperature may cause it to lift over time. Again, this is one of the techniques that makes it different to apply MPI 1902 from 1105. Once the edges are ready for cutting, click the blade to ensure precise cuts. It's best to cut on the opposite side of the panel being applied. This creates around 1/4 of an inch of extra material that will wrap around the edge. This increases extra holding power for long-term durability. Once cut, open the section if possible and secure the film to the inside edge. Heat can be applied to further relax the film during this stage. On moderate to severe body angles on the edges, minor relief cuts should be made in order to keep the 1902 from wrinkling. Once the relief cuts are made, apply heat to relax the film even further, then secure it flat to the surface. Once a panel is complete, always do a 360-degree checkover with a heat gun to look for bubbles or loose edges. Unlike MPI 1105, MPI 1902 cannot be applied to deep recessed areas even if 1460 DOL is used. Therefore, it's best to make a relief cut and lay the piece in. For the top section, a knife cut or cutting tape can be used. For the bottom section, cutting tape should be used as this is a direct cut on the surface. This setup will create an open gap with clean edges for a professional result. Once prepped, release the liner and bridge the MPI 1902 over the deep recessed area. Secure the film to the outside ridge, first with a squeegee stroke. Then squeegee the film in the recessed area until it's around 6 inches from the corners. This will secure the film properly and ensure a clean cut. For the top edge, a knife or knifeless tape can be used. Start at one opening and work towards the other. Seal the outside edge first before applying the inside portion. Next, feed the inside material into the corners with even overlapping squeegee strokes. Set the MPI 1902 firmly over the cutting tape, then release the line. Remove the excess film and the green filament, then go back and seal the edge with a finger or squeegee stroke. This creates a perfectly uniform gap on the deep recessed area that looks professional and avoids overstretching. For sections in a vehicle that have raised areas, like on the backlight section of this van, use relief cuts first instead of heat. This keeps MPI 1902 at room temperature, which avoids overstretching. Tuck the film onto the edges and make more relief cuts when needed. If wrinkles do occur, use heat to relax, then gently pull once the film cools back to room temperature. For wheel wells, always cut MPI 1902 flush to the edge. Wrapping inside the wheel well will put too much pressure on the adhesive and cause it to lift prematurely. Once the excess film has been cut, always seal the deal with a finger or squeegee stroke. For cuts around the fender and bumper, always cut on the opposite side, in this case the bumper side. This allows for extra material to be wrapped around the edge, which will increase hold and ensures durability. For severe angles on body lines, like on the hood install, make minor relief cuts and fold the film over. This avoids tension and looks professional. Heating and overstretching these tiny areas will create lifting and fingers over time. For solid corners, use the Belgian Corner technique, which involves cutting the excess film on the corners away at a 45-degree angle. This creates a nice symmetrical look and avoids wrinkles on these areas. Using a combination of soft heat, the Avery Dennison red Squeegee and red Flextreme works very well on these areas. For sections with severe compound curves, like the upper section of this van or bumpers, use heat to soften the film first, then, using a triangle technique, pull the film evenly, spreading the film out. Another aspect that makes wrapping with MPI 1902 different than 1105 is that when cutting on the opposite edge with 1105, the film will lay flat on the inside portion. But with 1902, the film will finger, which will lower quality and cause it to lift. The better technique for 1902 on compound curves is, in this case, open the back doors and lay cutting tape on the inside point where the excess film should be cut away. Heat and evenly pull the MPI 1902 like the previous example, but this time form the film all the way around the curve. The goal is to lay the film flat over the cutting tape with no wrinkles. Once set, release the line and remove the excess film. Once the excess film has been removed, come back over this area with lamination tape. Apply half on the 1902 and half on the substrate. This will help hold and seal the edge for the duration of the wrap. For severe compound curves commonly found on mirrors, the best approach with 1902 is to wrap the mirror in 2 to 3 pieces. In this case, the main piece is prepped by putting cutting tape on the inside edge and a long piece for the outside edge that faces the windows. The main piece is applied using a combination of heat, pulling evenly, and using the triangle technique. Once this has been applied to the main surface area, the excess film is cut away on the inside line. Cutting tape is again applied with an overlap of 1/8 of an inch. The inside piece is then applied over this, and the excess film cut away. The excess film on the outside edges of both panels is now cut, and then a strip of matte black or mold and hold is applied, half on the 1902 and half on the paint. This combination produces a professional result that will hold for the duration. For post-install, post-heat temperature 185 to 195 Fahrenheit. Always wait 30 minutes to post-heat, but no longer than 24 hours. Always edge seal under bumpers and compound curves. Cure time 24 hours above 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Avoid cleaning with alcohol, and preferably use Avery Dennison aftercare products to achieve professional results. For post-install, more sections will have to be post-heated with MPI 1902 than when using MPI 1105. This is because the tension of the film needs to be reduced in order to help the adhesive hold the substrate for the duration. Put extra focus on edges, recessed areas, compound curves, and any overlaps. Post-heat temperature is exactly the same as MPI 1105. It's 185 to 195 degrees Fahrenheit, and be sure to apply edge seal tape to the entire underside, including rocker panels. For removals, a heat gun or propane torch can be used. Less than 20% adhesive residue will be left behind, and there'll be no paint damage for OEM paint in good condition under 5 years old. Removals are where MPI 1902 really shines. Since its final adhesion is half of MPI 1105, it will remove easily, and for substrates that are not perfect OEM, this will significantly reduce paint or clear coat failures. Propane torches or heat guns can be used to soften the film to help it remove even easier. There should be little to no adhesive residue left behind. For more information on MPI 1902, you can go to this URL or follow Avery Dennison on these social media pages. This has been an official product video for Avery Dennison's MPI 1902 Easy Apply RS. Proudly produced by the Rep Institute.